Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Heatherly. As you all know, I'm with the Monroe Chamber of Commerce. I'm president and CEO. I'm joined, as always, for Small Business Stories with my friend Quentin Durr, Origin Bank, and Louisiana Catalyst.
Yes, sir.
And we got some really fun guests right now.
We do.
Andy Smith with iConnect, Nina Woodward with iConnect Newspapers.
Yes, sir.
But it is growing into a giant multimedia conglomeration or whatever it might be, right?
Better believe it.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's really exciting for us to. So, Andy, you and I met when I first came back to town, and you've grown since then. But tell us what iConnect Newspapers, what it is, and how many products you got. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, iConnect Newspaper is our publication newspaper here that covers Ouachita Parish. It is probably one section of a multimedia, as you stated, brand and publications. We have 3 newspapers total, but iConnect being one that's in the larger area. And so it started in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. Matter of fact, our first edition was scheduled to come out the year that Kobe Bryant passed. The very first design had his death on it. That was going to be the first edition because I feel like it was going to sell a lot of papers. You know, and so he was popular. I said, let me ride off Kobe. And so that didn't happen because the pandemic hit and it kind of just shut everything down. So we regrouped. And so, but since then, we have established so many amazing relationships across Ouachita Parish, especially with the Chamber, which is one that I literally just adore.
Well, and you're a T.H. Scott winner. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for my award. A T.H. Scott winner, and that was just like really crazy because I did not see that coming. But it was good to be honored for your efforts
and
stuff like that,
and recognized. So you and I have talked. I'm an old newspaper person. I came out of that industry 37 years, and you are kind of bucking the trends. Everybody says no one reads newspapers. They're all going digital and all this type of stuff. But you have how many locations here in Ouachita Parish that you're distributing?
We actually have 103 stores.
That you're distributing your product through.
That we're going to be distributing to. That's just Ouachita Parish alone. That's the Raceways, the 76 stores, called Outwatch stores, and some independent Exxons, right? And then that doesn't include like salons and lawyers' offices and dentist offices. So it's almost bringing it back to an amazing forefront, right? Where people can actually see what's going on in the community and bind together that disconnect.
Okay. So tell us your background.
Well, I am from a single parent home, of course, and I was very, very smart growing up, but I was very, very bad. I got in a lot of trouble. So that followed me for some years. But when it came to education and academics, I did very, very well before I got in trouble and through school or whatever, but I still allowed myself to pivot and kind of recover from that. And they say, can anything good come off the South Side or any type of, project housing? I can say yes, because I did, right? And it has probably been the best journey of my life.
Okay,
and
good.
So my background, of course, I'm a 35-year accomplished musician. I've been playing piano for 35 years. I just told my age. And so, but it has been just an amazing journey, meeting new people, and actually, for the most part, recovering from what you would consider to be a bad past, right? And I cannot take no credit for it. God has just been good to me, but for the most part, I am in for the ride of my life. It's been just that good.
So why newspapers?
Newspapers, for me, I'm a talker, and so I talk all day.
Why are you laughing?
It's true.
It's true.
She's a co-sign for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I talk all day, and I'm a communicative person. I love people. And so I've seen a lot of instances, even in our city, to where, and no slight against any publications, but there's a lot of positive things that go on that we do not read about, that we do not get a chance to know about, see, whether it's in school, work, faculty, staff, even just the city itself, right? And of course, Roy, I am very involved with our chamber and city administration, and that was one of the promises that I made to our mayor, that we would turn the light on positivity in Monroe, and we have been doing that. And it's caused us to meet a lot of people and to learn a lot. I have not learned as much about Monroe as I've done in the past 8 months.
Wow.
There's a lot going on here that people really, I just learned that they have a tracking system on the buses for the school system.
Yeah.
They know, maybe I'm slow, But I don't have any kids either.
No, but people need to know that.
They need to know that they know them where those buses are every single second of the day.
So part of what I've always said is part of the demise of local newspapers has created this void of information, because now people depend on social media, some of it true, some of it not sometimes,
Right.
and they need a credible news source, and they need to talk about the positivity that you guys do. I think Sam Hanna does a great job with Washita Citizen,
Yes.
But there's always room for others in here, and so that's the void that you're filling right now.
Just to bring that connect to the community, to show that there's a lot of positive. Like, we actually in Monroe, Washita Parish as a whole, have something to be proud of.
Yeah.
When we go to Dallas and I go to New York and go to California, and I'm like, hey, Monroe is popping right now, right? And entrepreneurial wise, we are at a thrust, and people need to know that, so they won't say that they don't have a chance. But if they don't know, which is where we come in at as news media, hey, there are some business classes, there are some educational classes. If you have a business, there's somebody we can connect you to. Like, go see Uncle Roy; they'll get you straight, like, because they did it for me. I come from the same place,
Right.
And so,
And what Quentin, he works at Origin Bank, but he's got this entrepreneurial flair, and that's what Louisiana Catalyst is all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what Andy and I first met, was just connecting, saying, okay, what are you trying to do? What are we trying to do? And how does that look? And I know he's had numerous conversations with Duran as well. So, I mean, it's just connecting. And like you say, you don't really realize what all is going on in Monroe till you start paying attention.
That's right.
And then it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's a lot of moving
moving
targets.
parts,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is more good than bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they really just kind of do the weigh in the balance. You know, every city, every town, every region has its pros and cons.
Right.
But when I step back and look at the overall picture, we are moving at a very good pace when it comes to entrepreneurship.
I agree with you 100%. You know, Mayor Ellis talks about changing hearts and mouths, and that's kind of what you're doing, is you're changing the mouths to, hey, there is a lot of great stuff going on here.
Right. Yeah, and it is. And so it's afforded us to not only build a successful brand and to prepare for an initial launch. It's also afforded us to bring in staff who's also well capable of, furthering that initiative. You know, like Miss Nina here, who's just laughing at me. She's our public relations coordinator, right? And she's responsible for making sure that the correspondence and the overall setup is executed.
Right.
And so, and it's just been good. Like, it's been,
Well, so I'm going to throw it over to Nina. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm also from a single parent home. I'm from Monroe. I'm just getting started. I'm 25. Didn't really see myself going into journalism or just operating with a newspaper at all. I thought it was crazy. But once he told me about the motive that he has, it aligned with me because I love people. And once he told me once you master a class of people, then there's really nothing that you can't master.
Right.
And I feel like I Connect is going to completely restore the city by just showing them a narrative of there are the positives, just shedding a consistent light on the positive. Because we looked at it from a bird's eye view, and there are a lot of great things going on in the city. I was surprised myself because you always see the bad. I told him they always report about the planes that crash, never the ones that make it. So we always see.
That's a good point. You're right.
Yeah. So that's what we're here for. We're here to turn the lights on the positives. And my job is basically to develop, direct, and nurture the correspondence within and between the communities.
Okay. So how do you put a publication together?
A lot of relational conversations, right? A lot of research. I have watched, because I have magazines, right? And everything goes back, if you really just take it apart, everything boils back down to people. People tell you how to live. People tell you or show you how to move forward, how to advance, how to digress. Everything that you can put together, any type of business plan, has people in mind. So people kind of align with the world of time. You know, time is the only thing that you can't get back, but that you're going to need forever, right? And so I was trying to match her good point. And so I put it together based off of knowing other models, you know, and then kind of finding what was missing. Like, because we're in the digital age, and of course everybody goes digital. However, there is a gap, Uncle Roy, that most people forget about, and that is our elderly. And that was one of my number one goals, to connect those elderly to the community, because a lot of them can't get out of the house anymore. Right. They're in a nursing home and they can't go to the grocery store to grab the Sunday's paper, but we can take it to them so they can stay involved. And even in the nursing home, and I told myself this, that their vote still counts.
Absolutely.
Who oversees them still counts. And so newspaper media allows them to actually say, okay, this is who I want to vote for. I've learned enough through iConnect to know that this is a conscious decision, even in the situation that I'm in. So it was a lot of research, a lot of designing, a lot of planning, but it's been good. Yeah.
So I got laid off from the newspaper industry after 37 years. One of the reasons probably was I was very vocal, because the core audience is an older audience for newspapers. That's traditionally what it's been. But my argument was because I would hear people coming into the industry saying young people don't read the paper. And I said, I don't believe that. I think it's a lifestyle. I think, I started reading the paper when I was in high school and college, but I read sports, and that gradually grew into other things. And if you're focusing local, if you're focusing positive, I think people, they want to see their pictures. They want to read about their children or what's going on in their community, and they want to read about themselves. And so I think you're on to something really, really smart and really what our community needs. Right. And so I commend you for what you're doing right now.
Thank you so much. It's been a good journey, and it's growing. Like, I had a goal to have 50 newspapers in 5 years, right? 50 different regions, 50 different cities, and we're at 3. I don't know if we're gonna make it to 50. Good golly!
But so you're Bastrop, Ouachita Parish.
Yeah, we have Ouachita Parish. We have the only newspaper in Morehouse Parish, which covers that entire area, which is really good, because it has the most disconnect when it comes to communication, right? And then we're launching one in Winsboro, in Franklin Parish.
So will you repurpose articles? Can if something positive happening in Morehouse, will it show up maybe in Winsboro or Monroe paper?
Well, my actual goal for that, and I just decided on it probably 2 weeks ago, because I have favor with the stores, is to put all 3 of the papers in each store, because newspaper, you print high quantities, and it'll keep you from wasting so much paper. And so if they're able to get everything that's going on in one store, it's a strong possibility that they'll pick up all 3 papers, right? And so that's the goal for that. Instead of trying to place it in each one or pick a story, we'll just put Bastrop Community Voice, Winsboro Connect, iConnect, all in the same store, because we have the quantity to do so. And so that's going to make it more exciting.
So other products, you have magazine?
Yeah, we have 3 magazines. We have I Worship Magazine, which is for the Christian church. In 2020, during the pandemic, I launched the all-female magazine called Woman Arise, which is all things the everyday woman, which took off like a lightning bolt.
Is that local?
It's global. All the newspapers are global. And here's the other thing about the newspapers too, which put me in the edge. My initial vision was to take the local city to the globe and bring the global nation to the local city. So you can open up an iConnect paper and people in Africa will read about Uncle Roy, right? Because I have supporters and influencers across the globe. And then you can open up a paper and meet somebody in South Dakota who had an inspiring story that ends up in our local paper, right? And it builds relationships and crosses over the ties. And so we have 3 magazines, I Worship Magazine, Woman Arise, and I just launched one called iTech Global, which is for creatives, tech wizards and stuff like that. And so
wonderful.
Yeah.
And you're also a pastor?
I do pastor Life City Church. That's my heart. Life City Church right here in the heart of Monroe, 205 North 18. And we're into our 2nd year, and it's been good. I have a wonderful group of people who are growing in their Christian faith, and they love their pastor.
Good. That's really good. Right. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, Nina, thank you for joining us today. And it didn't hurt at all, did it?
No, it didn't.
And you all will have to come back and join us and give us some updates on what's going on. Yeah. You've got, before we leave, you've got some visions for some chamber news in there, I think.
Yeah, so this is for me, this is like my pride, right, and joy, because becoming a part of the Monroe Chamber, people don't get a chance to say this because it's always business. it was the life-altering experience for me. Like coming into a group of people who are all business-minded, who are all entrepreneurial-minded, and had one goal for the city, which is to thrive. And so after kind of, again, looking at a bird's eye view of the chamber, I was like, wow, this will be good if I can get the chamber and all of its constituents to have a place, a voice in our paper. And so we created this logo initiative called Chamber Connect, which is where the chamber can share all of its works and things throughout the week. And in return, we also offer advertisement for businesses that are part of the chamber. And I think it also allows people who are not on social media or elderly to know what's going on in the business world, because some grandmother may see her granddaughter in the paper. Oh, my baby got a hair business, or she has, a puppy business, right? And so it's all about community, innovation. And so that's our goal. And so working with the chamber thus far, while they still like me, has been amazing, and so I look forward to an even stronger relationship. Now that I have an award, I feel a part of the family, Yeah.
We like you whether you have an award or not. Just so you know that.
I'm going to get one next year.
We're pretty high on iConnect. So anyway, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We look forward to all the great things. We look forward to those 50 newspapers and beyond, and your media empire.
Thank you so much. It's good to be with you, Quinn, and
Absolutely.
thank you, Ms. Nita, for joining me.
It's a pleasure meeting.
Thank you all
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Small Business Stories with iConnect Newspapers, Nita Woodward and Andy Smith. I'm Roy Heatherly with Quentin Durr. Thanks for listening, watching, and doing all those good things.
Thank y'all.